Identities have the ability to shape who we are as people. Identity is not a simple concept. In fact, a person's identity is a complex sum of many parts. This semester, I have been challenged to consider my identities and how they make me who I am. How have my identities shaped my life? What does this mean for society as a whole? One identity I had never thought much about before Seed was religion. Religion has been a part of my life ever since I can remember, but I've never considered the values I learned and privilege I received through identifying as a Christian. While religion is not a salient identity in my life, it is still a part of me, and it still affects the kind of person I am and the things I have come to value in my life. One thing I highly value is family. Growing up in families where my parents were the babies and everyone was always older than me, I learned to get along and converse with adults at a very young age. My aunts and uncles are always telling kooky stories, and my cousins are people I can look up to as role models and advice givers. It isn't that often I get to see members of my extended family, but when we do see each other, it usually happens over a religious holiday like Christmas or Easter. Being raised in a family where everyone is Christian, these types of celebrations happen regularly without question. During our get-togethers, we share stories and laughs and catch up on each other's lives. I have come to value these special occasions dearly, and I now realize these things wouldn't happen if I wasn't Christian. If I wasn't raised in Christianity, I would not get to enjoy these holidays where I receive time off from school to congregate with my family. My value of family is rooted in my privilege of being Christian and the idea that religious holidays are time for families to be together. Not only do I value my extended family, but more specifically, I value my parents. My parents have been there for me through every phase of life I have experienced, and they constantly support me and encourage me to reach my goals. More recently, my mother has been the force in my life that gets me through each tough day. Whenever I need to talk, she is only a phone call away. My mom has always put me first before herself, and I honor that by giving her the utmost respect. The value of respecting my parents stems from the Christian teachings of the 10 Commandments, lessons from confirmation class I will never forget. The 5th commandment, honor thy father and thy mother, stuck with me as something very important for me to do. I often wonder if I would value this as much if it weren't for the Christian teaching. This example makes me think about how much Christianity influences my life without me realizing it. The phrase, treat others how you want to be treated, is one I think about every day. When I look back at where I learned the Golden Rule, I attribute it to church and school. In both of these institutions, the Golden Rule is a way for children to take responsibility for their actions and think about how their actions affect others. Christianity puts special emphasis on this rule, and I remember hearing it in Sunday school class many times. I believe the way I treat my friends and the strong, long-lasting relationships I form with them are because of the Golden Rule and because it is present in my life. When religion is not something I think about every day, the teachings and lessons I have taken away from it have stuck with me more than I realize. This makes me wonder what other parts of me are rooted in my religious identity. White, female, straight, middle class, able-bodied, cisgender, Christian. These are the identities that make me unique. As I grow and develop through my life, I know the identities that are salient to me will change. As far as religion goes, my role within the institution is whatever I make it to be. Currently, I see myself as an upholder of the values Christianity has given me. No matter how important religion is in my life, I must always recognize the messages I have received from it and how those messages impact me and others. I must also recognize the privilege I receive in having Christianity as a part of my overall identity. For me, Seed has been a catalyst in my acknowledgement of how important identity is. My goal for myself in continuing to keep the teachings of Seed present in my life is to keep questioning, exploring, and thinking about what my identities mean to me and how they play into society as a whole.